Hello, we're Wrench Games, and we would like to share with you our game Equinox. Equinox is a third-person runner on mobile platforms where you fly through multiple environments during a cataclysm where the world around you is falling apart to the rhythm and the beat of music. Wrench Games is made up of 8 individuals, the first of which is myself, Nick Bolson, the team lead and designer. We also have Michelle Mackay, our producer. Then we have our code team, which is led by our tech lead, Stuart Mackay. He is joined by our second programmer, Peter Black, and the final member of our programming team, Matthew Owens. Then there is our art team, which is led by art lead, J.L. Brady, who is joined by our second artist, Alyssa Dolan. And last, but by no means least, our sonic artist, Jordan Baker. From the very beginning of our project, we wanted an art style that didn't match the cliched look and tone that you'd expect from a music game, for example, bright neon note highways or live bands playing in front of audiences. Instead, we wanted Equinox to show multiple low polygonal environments that reflected nature. However, we wanted them to look a bit different, so we made them crystalline and fragile in nature, looking as though they could shatter at any second due to the cataclysm that's going on around them. We wanted this feel to translate across to our playable character, who would later become known as the Quetzalbird. So as opposed to having her made from feathers, flesh and blood, we had her made from a colour-changing crystal that would change based on the environment that the player is in and based on the multiplier that they have. So for example, if the player were to get a high multiplier, this would then be reflected by this colour change on screen. Here is our current prototype. As the game goes on and the level is played, the score will increase. For each successful obstacle avoided, a multiplier will be applied to this score. Should the player hit an object, this multiplier will be reduced to 0, thus reducing their chance of obtaining a high score. There is no fail state in this game. The reason behind this is we wanted the player to aim for a high score on every playthrough, whilst having the opportunity to listen to the song in its full without interruptions. This was to cater to our target audience of 18 to 30-year-olds who love rock and metal music but aren't necessarily hardcore gamers. Here are the objects we currently have, displaying the style we will continue to use for future objects. Although I didn't mention it during the demonstration video, our levels are actually generated using a beat detection algorithm. The way this algorithm works is very basically it calculates the amplitude of the song being played, and then every time that amplitude is exceeded, it gives an output. This visualizer demonstrates that output by displaying a red circle on the screen in place of the green circle. During the level generation, instead of a red circle, a value is given. This value generates one of 3 random objects in one of 5 random places on the level. This then generates a procedural level created by the song chosen by the player. To the best of our knowledge, this is the only game currently that generates levels this way, thus making it a very interesting and very unique selling point. It will also allow us in the future to give players the ability to upload their own songs from their own devices and generate their own levels procedurally from these songs. Due to the nature of the procedural generation, a player will be able to play the same level with the same song multiple times and never have the same layout. The generation will place the object in one of 5 places for each beat, meaning the level path will have seemingly infinite possible paths, unlike any other rhythm game, which will map a song to a path which will be the same for every player on every playthrough. To create our game, we are using Fmod along with the Unreal 4 engine, which allows us to make a playable build on Android devices. In the future, we hope to use these methods to create a version in HTML5 to make the game playable on computers. From all of us at Wrench Games, thank you for your time and thank you for listening.